fellowship. So you have to accept the fact that BMANA is helping, and then you have to also like keep a good long-term relationship with us. We are doing for your benefit. BMANA is helping, and that. All right. Okay.
আর আমি আরেকটা আমি কিন্তু খুবই প্রাউড টু বিকাম দা সেক্রেটারি অফ বিএমএনএ বা অনেকগুলো কাজ যেগুলি করছি, এবং খালি এটা আমার নিজের পার্সোনাল গ্র্যাটিফিকেশন না, ইটস হেল্প ইন মাই ক্যারিয়ার অলসো। আমার প্রোগ্রাম, আমার হসপিটালে দে অল নোজ অ্যাবাউট মাই পজিশন, এবং সেটাকে তারা অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করে বিভিন্নভাবে, এবং আমার ইভেন ক্যারিয়ার যে প্রগ্রেশন সেখানেও করতেছে। আমার ছেলে এখন ফার্স্ট ইয়ার মেডিকেল কলেজে আছে, ও 8 or 9 গ্রেড থেকে বিএমএন এর প্রোগ্রামগুলোতে অ্যাটেন্ড করতেছে। আমার মনে আছে ও সম্ভবত কলম্বিয়ার একটা ইন্টারভিউ যে সময় কলেজে দিয়েছে, ওকে ডিটেলস বিএমএন এতে যে ও পোস্টার প্রেজেন্ট করছিল সেটা নিয়ে ডিটেলস ওকে কোয়েশ্চেন করা হয়েছে, কারণ যে ইন্টারভিউয়ার তার সে বিএমএন এ কোনো একটা সিএমই তে অ্যাটেন্ড করছিল, তার একটা স্পেশাল ইন্টারেস্ট ছিল। তো তোমরা দেখো যে এগুলি হেল্প করে, এবং এগেইন আমার কথা হলো ইটস নট ফর পার্সোনাল ইন্টারেস্ট। তুমি যদি বাংলাদেশকে ভালোবাসো তাহলে বাংলাদেশি অর্গানাইজেশনকে আপহোল্ড করতে হবে, নিজের জন্য, যারা নতুন আসবে তারা। এবং আমাদের কাছে আজকে সালমা তুমি তো জানোই, রাইট, আমাদের অনেক এরাও আমাদের করতেছে, রাইট? ওকে সাকিব, ইটস অল ইয়ার্স নাও। থ্যাংক ইউ। আমি ফেসবুক লাইভে চলে গিয়েছি অলরেডি।
Thank you, Mamun Bhai. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining with us today. I'm Sakif Hassan, Young Physician Secretary of Bangladesh Medical Association of North America. So, and also we have today Dr. Mamun, who is the General Secretary of Bangladesh Medical Association of North America, with us today, and he's guiding us through all this program. I want to thank you, Mamun Bhai, for all this effort and then starting all this program. So, as you know, BMANA is a voluntary organization of Bangladeshi origin physician, and we are arranging this several sessions for our young physicians who are applying for residency in the USA. Today is our third session. The recording of this discussion are available in our BMANA Facebook portal. And also today our topic is about how to write personal statement and CV effectively for residency application. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Salma Khan as our speaker for today. Dr. Salma is a PhD, MD. She is an assistant professor of Loma Linda University School of Medicine. She is an excellent educator, speaker, and a great mentor to many residents, fellows, and the researchers. Dr. Salma is a life member of BMANA and tremendously involved with our young physicians by providing them opportunities to work on many research projects and helping them with publication. So without any further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Salma Khan.
Thank you, everyone. You all hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, thank you, Shakib. Welcome, as a young physician secretary, you are doing tremendous job already within a month. And I would like to thank our General Secretary and my friend, Dr. Mamun, who is the inventor of this particular program, that Young Physician Desk, and he's been research ambition with the help of Dr. Suhaila, myself, and Mamun, and Adiba, and Anindita. We have been doing it quite some time. So it's our pleasure to help you, and I would encourage all of you who get residency, please become a member. That's my urge to you. Only thing we expect from you. And so I know you won't be able to do much during your residency, but after residency, you can give a lot to us. So, and our next generation. Without further ado, as you know, I would talk about how to write a good personal statement, because I have been, editing many of the personal statements, and I feel sometimes overwhelmed that, oh my gosh, if you send this personal statement, nobody's gonna read it. Some are good, some are really not up to the standard. So it's our job to help you as well to how to polish your personal statement. And why it's not proceeding? Hold on. What happened? Okay. So why does the residency personal statement matter? So a well-written personal statement can strengthen your application and open up opportunity for you. So some application reviewers only skim through the personal statement while others read very carefully. You have to know that, because this is what you want to show yourself will be read, and the weight it carries at each program. So personal statement in USA is very important for any kind of admission. So if you ask undergrad how much they could afford to write an excellent personal statement, so it is in your best interest to develop a high quality personal statement. And there is a good reason the personal statement is relevant for program directors. All program directors want to see, because so much of the information program must determine whether you will be a good fit, is quantitative in nature. It's likely program will receive applicants with similarly competitive scores. So what can serve as a tiebreaker? So your personal statement. So with the score is same, you have some research experience and all other things, then you have to take only one out of two, then they will check your personal statement. If it feels good about you, then they will consider your application. And as foreign medical graduates, this is very important. So you have to know your audience. You're writing for the residency program director, your interviewers, and perhaps other members. So that other members, also assistant program director, and also the chief residents, they are the one who will interview you. So the reviewers use the personal statement to learn more about you as an individual, to help them determine if you have the qualities they're seeking in a future residence. So do you have the qualities or not? In the personal statement, they will find out. Your personal statement conveys to your audience that you are mature, thoughtful, enthusiastic, responsible, and a stable individual. Then, focus points. These are the points to focus on before you write. Why I'm interested in the field I have chosen. What am I looking for in a residency program? What are my professional goals in the field I have chosen? Why should a residency program select me? What are my accomplishments that are relevant to my career? What contribution can I make to the specialty? What contribution can I make to the residency program itself? They have the residency program, and then can I contribute anything? What outside interests do I have? For example, hobbies and all those things, which will be pertinent as a good personality. How have I grown during the clinical years of my medical education? Do not focus on pre-medical school years. Remember, during your medical school years, how how have you grown as if you are internal medicine specialist? So what made you in that internal medicine field, or OBGYN, or pediatrics, or and so on. So you have to highlight that in your statement. Another way to approach the personal statement is to ask what qualities make a good physician in your target specialty, and consider how you embody those qualities. For example, a few qualities that might represent cardiology, pediatric neurology, for example. Strong communication or interpersonal skills. If you can highlight in your personal statement, you have to be very attentive and technologically inclined. You are ready to learn all kinds of technological skill. You may highlight that. passion for advocacy, and ingenuity. Pediatric neurology is a very, very critical subject. You have to be very passionate and have to show the genuinity, whether you are interested or not. The next, what aspect of your life do you think might compel a selection committee to pick you over other applicants? What makes you a unique, candidate? That needs to be highlighted. Then program directors want to know that you have a realistic idea of what your specialty will entail. Don't write something, unrealistic in the story. Many of you write, and don't write when my dad was sick and then I started. These are old story. It worked in the past better. My grandpa was sick, then I got interested. So now everybody knows that you're just writing to write a story, but don't write it for God's sake, because now program directors don't like that story. So write something while you are in the clinic in your third year medical school, that how did you see a patient in maybe a cancer, or in pediatric patient you dealt with, how you got interested by looking at his case, and then drove you down to the pediatric or internal medicine. You found that how diverse it is, that you saw a patient, nobody could find out what is the the diagnosis. Then you tell how the all the the attendings, and then as a young medical student, how you brainstorm to solve the case. So write a story like that. No more grandpa, grandma, and father story in your application. So don't do that. If your application fails to convey compelling reasons for pursuing specialty beyond high salaries or the potential lifestyle benefits associated with it, for example, true for specialty like radiology and dermatology, it may cost you an interview invitation. So you have to many people choose radiology or dermatology because lifestyle is a big factor, and then you get lots of money. So those people would understand, unless if you cannot convince them why you are interested in that, then they will think that you are looking at the lifestyle, or all the the compelling high salaries are driving it to that. So don't do that. Then how do I embody the qualities of a good physician in the specialty? For instance, an anesthesiologist, if you want to apply for anesthesiology, who performs their role well may go unnoticed by a patient, right? Whereas a pediatrician who is too technically inclined may come across as cold and uncaring. A person who cold and uncaring should not apply for pediatrics, okay? And a person who is not that social, but technologically passionate about the anesthesiology will be the best fit for that particular person. The decisiveness of a surgeon in the OR is distinct from a psychiatrist, right? Adjusting a patient's depression medication through trial and error over time. So you have to tell that how you can think as a psychiatrist, as a whereas surgeon needs to be very strong in decision making in the OR itself. If you tell a story how one surgeon took decision on the spot, and you are also thinking in that direction, so if you write a story like that, they will be very much convinced with your story. Make sure the details you select speak the qualities of your chosen specialty. So you have to connect with each one of them. like specialty you choose, not just enumerate things you have done. I have seen, application, they say, oh, I have done I see one, you do observership in this country. You write, oh, I have done, case story, I have done this blood drawing, I have done blood pressure. Oh, those are not the thing we want to know. And someone wrote, as a research worker, that she has done like biopsy and also other things which are not qualified for. So don't ever, and she lost the residency interview because she wrote that she has done some kind of biopsy. You are not allowed to do that. You are not, so don't write something, even if you have done, don't write it. So they don't want to know that in your personal statement that what you have done in the as a observership. If you can write about a story of a patient and how you just contribute as a as an observer, that would be something relevant for your personal story, not what you have done. You did this, that. Don't write in your personal statement. If your idea is topic without a story, it's not worth mentioning. So if if you have many ideas, but you could not connect to a patient's story, don't mention it. So people do not buy the ideas. So if you can connect with your any cases you have seen, then you can definitely write that. There was no eureka moment. So you can start such a intriguing sentence, so not like I am so and so, blah blah blah. No, just start with a story. How do you write a story? So you have to know, become an author kind of thing. So here, example, there was no eureka moment for me when I decided that my future lay in the medicine. So people will what? So what is your a moment? They immediately will think about that what you're going to write. Though my decision to become a doctor was far more gradual and considered. So it didn't come out. Don't write that my grandpa, my dad wanted me to be a doctor or something like that. No, how it evolved when you were small. You can say that when I you can say a story that I have seen my when I went to a hospital, then I saw how a patient is dealt with. Some of the physicians are doing great job. You can tell that, but don't write that, because my dad wanted me to become a doctor. Don't ever write that. Looking back, some of the key moments that distributed to my decision include. So, contributed. For example, you tell a story during your, medicine rotation or OB/GYN rotation or surgery rotation. That what were the key moments? Do you have that? Or you can create one, but now it should be relevant. You can make a simple story with a nice flavor. It could be a very simple case, but if you can write it wisely, then you can make it interesting. So that connect your decision in internal medicine. Looking back in the past, you decided to do that, so you can write what meant. So in a first paragraph, you can write that one of the most powerful moments in my medical education occurred during an oophorectomy. This was for an OB/GYN student, who applied for OB/GYN residency. Then, she told how Dr. Srivastava removed a cyst, riddled ovary. I noted that his calm was contagious. I felt focused but at ease. The surgery finished without a hitch. In fact, it was anticlimactic, even unremarkable. Having dreamed of becoming a surgeon since age 16, when my father had to undergo emergency surgery, you can put that if you have a real story then. But my photographer father's words on darkroom printing, look at the shadows and they will guide you, made me reconsider. When I looked away from the bright overlight light, I saw the reason for a calm. Our anesthesiologist, Dr. Grant, had been silently watching the whole time, making sure the infusion was working as planned. This was a anesthesiologist, applicant who write for as a anesthesiology residency program. So you see how you connect your story in your field of application. Then this is the body of the paragraph. It should follow that my passion for making music, machines, my interest in radiology are fraternal twins. So as a radiologist, you start with that, body of the paragraphs after the first, introduction. Then as someone who enjoys collaboratively finding creative solution, seemingly intractable problems, I'm especially suited being a doctor of it, doctor's doctor, a radiologist. So these are the way you always put and fine tuning of your application. Then connect the personal to the professional. So how? As I research sources of misdiagnosis among OBGYNs, particularly pertaining to the endometriosis and hormonal disorder, this was a OBGYN resident's letter, I was driven by memories of Letitia, like one of the patient. So she once described how it took her 10 years after her forced sterilization to understand that female reproductive system enough to comprehend what had been taken from her. So as an OBGYN, I would make sure no patient left my examination room without a clear understanding of her reproductive health. So this is the way you try to connect yourself to the specialty. Demonstrate change and growth over time. So how did you change over time and growth over time? So one wrote, I was excited to alternate between preoperative procedure and pain management in anesthesiology rotation. Some tasks felt familiar, assisting the attending in diluting medication, called to mind the exact ratios I once mixed for my father's developer and fixer so that his prints expressed the full gradient between black and white. Other tasks like induction, the occasional corrections required for maintenance were foreign, but beeping monitors and visual cues entered my mind like thoughts I have aimed to consider without fear or anxiety in my 10 years of meditation. By honing my attention in dark rooms and in my silent morning meditations, I have become attuned to others, often anticipating the needs for recovering patients before they can articulate themselves. My anesthesiology rotation helped me understand that behind every unremarkable surgery was a great deal of foresight and diligence. And these are qualities I enjoy exercising most. So if you're that kind of person, so make sure that communicate the kind of specialist you hope to be I want to take the expertise I gain in my OB/GYN practice and reproductive health research and apply it in policy. You know, like what you want to do, just to try to help in, these are will be too much for you to write in policy because, but in American graduates, many of them, they are interested in doing it, and they have been involved in many of that. Then conclusion, tie it all together in your conclusion remark. In my career, I intend to apply my passion for human connection and community to providing high quality OB/GYN care and research to communities which have traditionally had difficulty accessing care. Training at your program would enable me to meet these goals and effectively treat and advocate for these patients. This is like simple and this will be a concluding sentence. So this is the outline I put in your a personal statement. Introduction, that I showed that how you start with a very interesting a line that which draws attention to your the reviewers or interviewers. Then you start your journey and inspiration, and talk about a little bit about your qualifications, how it ties to your program. And you have to always mention why this program, why this program attracted to you. Then you write your future goals and conclusion. So this will be the outline. In the final tips, I would like to say, be concise but thorough. Aim for a length of about 500 to 800 words. Like I would say 1 page. Do not exceed 1 page, because people don't have patience to read if you write 2-3 pages. And then use clear, concise, and professional language. Proofread carefully for grammar and spelling errors. I see lots of grammatical errors. Tailor your professional statement to each program you apply to, highlighting specific aspect. You have to know that each specific program you cannot just send something to all the programs. You may have to tweak very carefully that appeal to you. Seek feedback from mentors, peers, or professional editors to refine your statement. So with that, final remarks I would give by reflecting on how your personal attributes and interests inform who you are and who you might be in your chosen specialty. Your well-crafted, authentic, and unique personal statement will help you land those coveted residency interviews and ultimately match into residency program of your dreams. So with that, I will stop this one. And if you have a question before I go to a very short, how to write a CV. And I would definitely, request all of you to make sure your personal statement is read by many editors or mentors, because they have been reading this, and they understand, and they have been here for a long period of time. They would feel that it's resonating what you're trying to accomplish. Don't write some irrational thing, because they will understand that you are just making a story. So make it simple, but American people, they know how to make a simple story with a very with their words. They make it very attracting. So remember to do that. So make it attractive and make it concise. Yeah, with that, like, I would take any question before I go to CV will be simple because you have a, format. I will just give you some idea.
Salma, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it okay to write like hobbies or any extracurricular activity
Yes.
or activity on the personal?
Yes, yes. At the end, you can write that hobbies, which like, I would definitely like, you can put that a little bit. And like when you write about your personal, story, your qualifications, you can write that.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a question.
Yeah.
So beside the medical degree we have, if I have like maybe I have MPH, so other people might have like MBA in health policy and management.
Yes.
In that case, should I also put into the personal statement so that I can sort of
Yeah, of course.
clinical side and the healthcare administration?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a plus point for you. So you will write that with my MBA degree, I will be very indispensable to help in the healthcare policy. And you can do that, and this is a good quality.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Definitely. You will like during your qualification, how you can incorporate, how you can help this program, you can write it that. Okay, Saira.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Hi.
Thank you for letting us know how to write such a personal statement. And I think what really helped us that you showed us an example of how it should be written and how beautifully like flowing the context of the personal statement was. And to be honest, I did not have any idea how it can be written so beautifully before seeing this example. Ma'am, my question to you today was that while writing the personal statement, is there any specific format? Let's say I'm writing it in a Word document. Is there any specific font or the size of the text or the alignment that you want us to follow?
Yeah. So yeah, always do that, like, the justified. So align, it looks good. Don't do the, like, the haphazard way or the centralized. Do it like, justified. And then font should be like, which is like, readable. It should not be too small, too big. Yeah, you can just make it like, beautifully, write yourself and put on in front of your face, like, the screen, you see whether it could be read like, easily or not. And font should be clear, not italic. Don't use italic. So not too like in a jaggery kind of, the fonts. Always like try to see that which is like, you can write and don't go beyond one page. You can write beautiful, like, phrase about yourself in like introduction, one paragraph, and then body of the of your qualification and what bring you there, like, how you progressed as a 2 days like physician, how you evolved and all the story you make, and then conclusion at the bottom, that why, and then why you chose this program. That like, I can share with you my the PowerPoint, all of you, so you can use that as a platform, that how you can start, how you can end, and what body needs to be there. And also, and I would also always use Grammarly and all those things. So make sure you write perfect, like, English, and also perfectly, no grammatical errors should be there, because I still feel when you try to be authentic, you try to write on your own words, but just take help, professional help, that would help. And then you can reach out. I remember Mamoon and I, and we all, just help, all the mentors. We help editing, your personal statement. That's the most important thing, personal statement. You should, let others to read. Then they will, because when you write, you think you are writing perfectly. But, so when others read, they may find some, oh, okay, this doesn't seem right. So can you make it a little bit clear,
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All the best to all of you who
I
are
want to add
applying.
one more thing here, Salma, that some people sometimes write all are in capital letter.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't
do
do that.
that.
It's really
Yeah.
happening sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, don't, like the one thing I learned from US, if you write something in capital letter in your email or something, it's just you are like, rude. You're like, talking to someone with a rude language. So so it's polite to have like, the not to, so never use capital letters. I just put those like as a two visually appealing, like in my PowerPoint, but don't use those.
Can
Ma'am,
I add something?
Yes.
I'm Mustafis.
Hi.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It was really helpful for us. I do have one question. So regarding, you have told that in the first paragraph, so we should start with an example. So should that example be after the medical school or during medical school example, or is it okay if I give an example before the medical school? Like some family member is suffering from a disease, and that entices me to become a physician, and after that I want to be an internist or something like that.
So remember I put that, intriguing sentence. You start with your story. So story starts wherever you feel that is relevant, but don't put too much story on that, like, for example, you're writing for residency, right? So in internal medicine. So you start with that intriguing sentence that this how you started thinking about internal medicine. So with a story from there. And then you go back to your, in the body of your, personal statement, you go back that how you evolved.
Okay. Thank
Start
you.
story and then evolving, and then what are the future goals, and then why you choose this program, and then and also hobby in your body. In the body, your hobby, try to link with, don't write my hobby is blah blah blah. Don't write that way.
Okay.
So if you write that my hobby is, like, don't don't write I did MBBS or like something. No, you just, I went, like, how you start your medical schooling, that from a story, and then how you, like, your hobby ties to this, that patient relation, like that. So that makes a story. If you write, oh, I have done this, I have, like, I assisted in, like, during my medical school, I assisted blah blah blah. No, not that, like that. You'll say that while I was rotating, that there was an interesting case, you write about it, and then I will, like, that I went through all this patient, and then I was able to assess the doctor on that. Don't, like, so that makes it relevant, right? Yeah, so write that way, story. So how you get involved with the patient, during your medical school, and your, observership, whatever, like, so far you went through. Just try to, like, tie the, like, together.
Right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I had one question,
Yeah.
2 questions actually.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, especially the slides with the questions will help me organize my personal statement. So my 2 questions are, what qualities would you highlight what qualities in your personal statement would you highlight that the program directors are looking for? And my second question was, where can I really need someone, one of the mentors to look at my personal statement? How do I send my personal statement?
Okay. Yeah. So qualities. So that's the one they want to see what your qualities. So this one, qualities means not your highlight. Oh, I was the topper in the class. They don't want to know that. In the medical school, they don't want to know that you are a topper of the class or you did this and that. No, the way you write your qualities, that while I was a medical student, and how you contributed your, the enthusiasm, your passion, like, you stayed with the patient throughout her journey, like in the hospital, how you, show your passion, your resilience, and how you, followed up the patient, even you are you have finished your rotation. So that shows your internal medicine kind of qualities, that you really care about patient. Your qualities, everybody knows your qualities, from your scores, and you are a good student, and everybody knows from all this your CV.
Okay.
But your qualities, you will tie with the extra, how did you read, and so you didn't know about this case, then how did you contribute it in the diagnosis? How did you come up, you read, you say that I was going through all the research in the internet, and then I stayed up all night, and then I came up, and then how it helped in the attending, someone told me that someone wrote that in the personal statement that, oh, I did so well that attending called me and then told me that you did a great job. No, this is not the way you write.
Okay.
You just you feel satisfied about how you help the patient, because you just tie it down, that audience will recognize that, oh, you are a good physician. So it's like your qualities, and then if you are good at music or something, and then how you tie it to your for example, cardiology, or cases, or any other, how you can incorporate your music qualities into the medicine, or in pediatrics. You love how you are so passionate about pediatric population, and what made you a pediatrician, if what make you attracted to be a pediatrician. You have to write a story about what during your medical school rotation, which case. Always try to a case, not oh, I am passionate about pediatric patients. No, just make a story.
Sorry, so my understanding is, so I should go through an example, and how the journey led to my acknowledgement.
Yes,
It's like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And personal statement about reading, you can write, are you a member of Research Ambition?
Me, yes, I am.
Okay, so reach out to Farjana, so you can get an email of all the mentors, and
Okay.
then you can send it to any one of us. Yeah, she can distribute, because if we get too many, then we have to distribute to each mentor. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I can, if I reach out to Farjana, then she would guide me how to send it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. Next, I saw someone raised hand.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. This is Ummul Wara Masood, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. So I do have a question about the term that why should I choose this program in the personal statement. So my question is like, let's say if I apply for at least 150 programs of internal medicine, then should I write regarding all of these internal medicine, like why am I choosing this program? So
no, what you have to do, like you write in a unique way, because because you are only applying to internal medicine, so it would be like almost like similar kind, right? So you're like why you're applying to this internal medicine of this program. So something which will be unique in each program, you can write it down in a way that it fits with all of the program. So you have to be very tricky. So all the programs, and then you wrote for example, you are applying for 150 programs, but you cannot focus on all of them. So the one you have a look up that were IMG friendly institutes, and then what they look up, what they look into, what is their unique of this particular program, why you like that program. So it would be almost like similar in many of the programs. So but if you if that you can incorporate in different lines, that one or two extra sentences you can put so that it matches with every program.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the
You're
clarification.
welcome. Any other question? Not, then we should move to CV. Okay.
Salma, before going to your next,
Yeah.
What is that? CV. I saw that Anindita and Adiba is here.
Yeah.
Do you have any comment on it, Adiba and Anindita?
Thank you, Salma. I really appreciate for your time. You always do an excellent job on this personal statement. And to all of you, thank you. I'm Adiba. I have been in this for a while, and we have all the pioneers here, Salma Appa, Mamun Bhai, and Anindita, who are doing this and participating with Mamun Bhai, started almost 6-7 years ago, and even before that. And I really thank Sakif. As soon as you took over your office, this is your third session in 1 month, so or 1.5 months. But this is amazing, because this is the time we did not want to lose the opportunity when you need us the most during your application. So for personal statement, as Salma Appa said, that this is important. It has to have a flow and a story. And I have seen that you all have stories, but the flow is sometimes missing, and we are happy to correct that for you. To make those connections between each paragraph is very important. So as Salma Appa says, I have nothing much more to add, but try to put the details in. You want to express yourself in those stories, but at the same time, you need to have connections that are strong and represents yourself, because that's where maybe 1 or 2 questions will come from. So make sure you understand to put that connection between each paragraphs than individual paragraph itself. So every paragraph should have a flow, like a story about yourself. I think that is all from me. Thank you.
Anindita? Okay, so.
Assalamualaikum, everybody. And sorry I missed the first part, but I remember Salma Appa did the same presentation when I was a young physician secretary, and it was like, great, awesome presentation as usual, very detail, and then she actually highlighted every single important part. So I don't think I have much to add. What I would like to say that if you think that the programs do not read personal statement, that's totally wrong. They do, and then they want to see something that is catchy, that describes you in a very humble way. Definitely no grammatical mistakes. And then, like Salmapa said, nothing in italic or capital letter, all the small details, not too long. And especially try to avoid, like, again, Salmapa said that I was top in my class, or I went to the number one medical school. Nobody cares about those, honestly speaking. I mean, it's more like that actually tells that you could be a little arrogant or maybe not so much humble, so those are the things you try to avoid. If you're starting with a story, try not to like tell the story in like everybody would, just add a little bit of like twist in the story, and something that tells about your passion about medicine, like why medicine, why here. If you are applying for the family medicine residency, just they really want to see your passion for family medicine. If you're applying for the internal medicine, show your passion, very nutshell, to the point, precise. If you have any like mishap during your medical school, or you can, and then how did you overcome that, sometimes shows not in like a very detailed way. Like there are some candidates who would have like break of studies, or something would happen, so that would not, whatever they scored, that would not reflect their original, like intelligence. So their actual intelligence, not original, like actual intelligence. So how did you overcome that? And then that shows your being persistent, focused. So something that tells something about you, something that there will be so many applicants. Your personal statement speaks for yourself, and with a very like a different way, and then in a very like a special way, if you can do that. But do not like make it longer, no more than 1 page, I would say. I think that's all I have to add.
Thank you, Anindita. I just want to make a couple of points here. Always, as Salma said, that 500 to 800 is the 1 page is best, very precise. And this is the, I think, place you can mention or try to justify if you have any gap or some kind of break in your study. I think this is the best place to write if it is effective. If it is not reasonable or effective way to overcome, don't write it then. And always ask yourself, are you happy with your own personal statement? If you are happy, then ask your family member, and then you can send it to your some editor or mentors or anyone else. And I think that Salma have mentioned that why this program, as you are applying for too many people, what is that program, it's better to mention about very common point, especially why medicine, like why medicine, why surgery, why pediatrics, something like that. And for the I think that's all. We have enough discussion. Salma, I have my recommendation is there. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'll just quickly finish the CV because I see the CV. Many of you write a CV, but it doesn't because it's nothing much to add in the CV because you have the format which you have to follow. But sometimes I see there is lacking. I say for example, your definitely your name and address, education, you put then you write majors, for example, Bachelor Arts, what did you do, and then honors and awards. Just highlight. Some people write in a very long sentences that you got this award, that award, so make it to the point. So 2017, you got that award, Dean's List, all those things. Then research experience. So you, whether you had like, you know, in the medicine, like during your medical school, did you do any research? Or during your observership, did you do any research? So write it down in a very concise way that what did you do? Worked with whom? And then what you have done, like, you know, on that particular project. Okay.
Salma, can you make it full screen?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. So you can highlight the honors and awards and then research experience. This I see, like, you know, you write only like few, like, you know, 1, 2, 3 points, but in the like sense to give you more precise, what did you do? You have to write. So here they wrote, like, you know, worked with Dr. Francis Russell doing chart review and collecting data on a soft tissue study, as well as screening for patients in a right heart failure study. And you can just see it's written in one sentence, but, you know, you get total, you know, outcome that what you have done in your story, even if you it's not like in a very well written. Then you had worked in the pediatric cardiology research group of Dr. So-and-so, and then you worked on, put the title there. Here's a galectin-1 HRAS intermediate filament abnormality is in giant axonal neuropathy. So then you, if you want to find mechanism, then write it down, like, you know, in short, what did you do? Then you, this is a basic science, like, you know, if you have a research experience in basic science, you can write work with cell culture, performed Western blots, because in my lab, we teach one of the young physician from foreign, like, you know, he is like working on, you know, Western blots. So performed work orally at the end of the program. So whether you presented somewhere in the oral, in the program or not, you can also write where did you present. So you can write, for example, BMANA, you recently attended. Put your, like, you know, title and your name, highlight your name, and then where did you, like, you know, present. So you can put BMANA annual convention 42nd annual convention, Anaheim, USA. Just write that. So don't just write, oh, I gave a presentation. So like, you know, that way, like, they will feel that you have done like, you know, research seriously. So National Science Foundation, then you highlight that where did you do. These are for American graduates. I know you do not have that experience, but you can write, if any one of you, I know many of, like, you know, the current you know, applicants, they have done some, you know, rotation in a Mayo Clinic. So write down what are the projects you have done, 1, 2, 3, 4, even if it's not published, or, you know, you did presentation, just highlight 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points. Then presentation and publication, you have, like, you know, the another area. So you put the conference number, like, you know, like BMANA, 42nd BMANA convention, and then you put the title. Then you can put a multiple of them if you published already. So since this person did not have publication, they did not put. If you like submitted or, you know, already published, so you can like, you know, write it down over there. Okay, then work experience. I see, like, you know, you can put any of, like, the work you have done, like, you know, hospital medical education program. So, and then if you did the observership, 8 weeks So you can put that in a highlight. So I saw some of the CV, they write in details what they did. No, like, you just like, write bullet points, because nobody has time to read in details. Spend time in areas, clinical medicine in hospital, adding to working in nursing, case management, hospital administration, community outreach group, and support staff. So this is like, showing as an observer, you are like doing like what type of job that not in details. So, and because nobody has time to do that. So language, like sometimes you helped in like, in language program. You like, these are the all, volunteers. Remember you did volunteering during BMANA. So write down that, well, what did you do during your volunteer time? So you should mention anything like, you did during your, like, during residence, before, applying for residency program, you should write it down. What happened? It's not moving. Okay, so then extracurricular activities and service. Here comes the extracurricular, activities. Have you done any of the association? Are you the member of any of the association? So you can proudly write it down that you are like, member of BMANA, like adjunct, like a member of BMANA, you can write it down. Or if you have done any kind of, like during our medical school, like, you're a president or student, like, president or vice president, any of the, units, or, cultural event you have participated, you can write it down here. So, and then how, like, another, like, this is like they said, they used to attend house calls, they volunteered. If you volunteered in anything, so you have to mention. And if you did, I know in Bangladesh, you do the blood donation camp, and then lots of clubs, medicine club, this, then we used to do a lot of, extracurricular activity, cultural event, and then sports. If you have done during your medicine, you can write it down here. So that will like show you. Then if you were any, like, advocacy committee, like, student member in, like, of any of the program in Bangladesh, I'm not aware of, because I've done medicine in India. So we had like student committee, and then we used to be get involved in all of the, committee, like, so that would, give you, like, your leadership skill. So if you have done, I know the Sayara and the Tonima and then Farjana, they are doing, volunteering, activities. They are coordinators. That will give them very nice, like they can put in their resume, like CV, that they have done like, coordinator job, like, research ambitions. So that will, like, they can write up in their CV. Then if you have done any music, like, if you play any instrument, you just, like, write it down that you have done this music, that music. Then you have also, like, write a drama during your medical year, or if you, like, were a performer, you can write it down. So then also, if you have done a peer advisor program, for example, peer, like, I know in our class, we had some of the peer tutoring. Some of the friends, they are not doing well in the medicine. Then so those who are good, like, students, they used to teach them spend time with them and then like, help them to overcome the hurdles in medical school. Then you can write at the end interests and hobbies. So like, you can, whatever you do, like, you can put in the, even watching, game also like hobby, or listening to music or podcast, or reading books, then running half marathon, then language, like, if you like learned, interested in language, or, you can like, if you're interested in cooking, so you should write it down. There is no harm. Here's the one, like here in the CV, you can write yourself that what type of person you are, like you can express it here. You don't have to write a story, but you can highlight the point. So, so CV is an easy fix for all of you, I know. So, and write in like bullet points. Don't write in details. I have done this. This is, I carried this, blood to the blood bank and all those things. Don't write that. Okay. So with that, I'll stop here, because CV, only I see sometimes you do not highlight your publications. Some of the people just, even if you submit an abstract, you just put the title and your name. And then if you have a peer, like if it's peer reviewed or not, if you have a publication in submitted form or in preparation, you can put the title and then author's name, and then you put like, in the parenthesis, the in preparation, or in submitted, or like, the accepted, whatever the version it is, you can just put it there. With that, I'll stop it here. Any question you have?
If you have any question, you can unmute yourself, please, or you can raise hand.
I had 3 questions actually.
Yeah.
So my first question is, in the education section this year, I have seen that we can add medical school, and then I do have a diploma. Now, how do I put diploma in the CV? My diploma is from Canada. So how do we what's the equivalency in US? That's
Okay, diploma. So you can put that so in the education, so you can add that as a diploma in so and so subject. It's okay to. It's there, even if it's not equivalent, like to like US diploma in what? What did you do?
In nursing.
Okay, so yeah, you can put a diploma in nursing.
Okay.
Yeah, anything you do during your any education after your medical school, if you do like, you should put it. If it's back home or in here or anywhere, you can put.
Okay.
Like someone did MBA, they can put MBA in their education. If someone did MPH, they put MPH in their like education. Someone did PhD, they can put that.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question was, where do I put my other licensing, like nursing license, phlebotomy license, research license, certification? Which group, under which category do I put it in?
Because since it's it's strictly formatted from the is like a IMG ECFMG, right? So yeah. That format, you can put in the same place that where you education, you put your license number there.
Oh, okay. In the education section.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can put your licensed on this and licensed on that, all this.
Okay, all right, thank you. And my last question, sorry about it.
No.
So there is one question in the ERA CV asking if my medical education was interrupted. So for me, my first prof and my final prof was postponed. That's why my year, like my school year is instead of 5 years, it's 6 years. Now, do I put no in it or yes in it?
So like say it again. So they said the interruption. Oh,
Yeah. In
Oh,
the recipe, it says that if your medical, explain if your medical education was interrupted, and then they have yes or no. So for, yeah,
this is
so
a tricky question because, you know, if you put,
Can I
like, yeah, Anindita.
I think it's not interrupted because this was the system loss. When I graduated, it took me like 7 years. It was not my fault. When they say like interrupted or not, it's like if there was something, if you dropped out from any year, or if you were, you know, if it took you like 10 years to graduate because you skipped 2 years, you had family issues. So those are interruption. But what happened with the system? It's not interruption. It's not your fault. It's a system loss, so you should not say interrupted. They understand that, okay?
Okay.
Because it's a 5 years program, and then sometimes it can take 6 or 7. They may ask you in the interview what happened, like why 5 years took 7 years. You can say, well, this is because of the political reason or some other reason it was interrupted. But you would say no interruption because of the system.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other comment?
I'm Mustafiz. So I do have a similar question like Apu. So basically, I was in residency in Bangladesh, and after phase A, whenever starting phase B, so I have just quit it and come over in USA. So in that case, should I write in that box that it was interrupted and explain it, something like that?
No.
Will it be counted? Okay, thank you. I do have another question. So regarding the geographical preference, so it's easy for me to just take the New York region, Middle Atlantic, but I was thinking like, what should I write regarding like Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio? So I have written like something like that. I have identified a substantial number of the residency program in there, and also I do have a few friends there. Is that okay, or should I write in any other way so that it looks
Where
attractive?
did you write that?
In Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin region. This is East, North, Central.
Where did you write that?
This is in ERA's application.
Okay. So yeah, like, you know, Anindita, would you help?
Yes, I think ERA's application is different than what we used to have. I think there is a because I was reviewing someone's ERA's application. There is a section where it asks for your geographical location.
Right.
So I personally, this is my
geographical preference, Anindita. Yeah.
Right. Huh?
The preference.
Right, geographical preference. I'm sorry. So Mamun Bhai and Giti Appa, correct me if I'm wrong. I personally, I would say just say no preference. I don't know if it's applied for the couple matching, if they're, you know, applying to certain states, or if it's for the American medical graduates, but for international, because if you pick like Illinois, what I was told, if you pick Illinois, only Illinois will see that that's your preference. But my question is, what if Indiana doesn't see your preference? Will they think that no, you are not, you know, you are not preferring Indiana as your geographical preference?
So don't do that. I would say don't do that.
Basically, if I choose a specific region, so no other region will see this.
Well, see, that means you did not pick that region, right? They will know you did not. That region, so that's why they didn't see
And
you.
also,
only Indiana will see or Illinois will see it. So I would say no preference.
Sorry to interrupt. So I have just learned from the previous residency mass that if I choose a geographical preference, so it will increase my chance of getting a residency. That's why I was
Oh,
to
that's new to me.
That's new to me. I mean, anybody can have like a no preference. I mean, Mamun Bhai, does it make any sense to you that it increases the chance?
No, it's not. But sometimes, you know, especially for the American grad, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's for the
Some
American.
people from Texas, they're writing Northeast their preference. So I know that they have the interest to come here because this is, I think, more applicable for the people from American grad.
Yeah.
The wide open opportunity to become the resident in this country. But for
Yes.
IMG, we all know whatever I'm getting, I will be there, right?
Yeah. So you should not put any preference. Don't make yourself,
Right.
you know,
Because, you know, for any American grad, I'm taking the interview. If I see that their preference is not this, I'll be more focused on this page, on
Yeah.
him or her, right? Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you.
if I can say something regarding the question, you know, for all the programs in ERAS, if you go to the Residency Explorer section and you open the tab, there are stats given. You'll see that the chances of getting an interview are many times more if you give a signal to a program with respect to a geographical preference. I would say it's almost irrelevant to getting an interview.
Mm.
That's what the stats say.
Okay.
It's tricky, actually. Basically, it's tricky condition, right?
Right.
But
No,
you know, if
actually,
want
you
to-
know, let me, Mamun, let
Yeah.
me tell you, because what happens that some people from East Coast applying to West Coast, and then they are like, you know, taking the American graduates, interviewing all over the places, but they do not select some of the programs. And the program put them in the high priorities. And then so they don't like, you know, they lose sometimes the, you know, the applicants. That's why they put this, you know, the geographical preference for the American graduates so that, you know, they know then they put them in the lower, you know, matching, you know, the candidates. So I think this is for American graduate, entirely for American graduates mostly.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding, like if I were the residency program director or associate program director, whoever screened the applicant, if a person says that I don't have any geographical, you know, preference and they're applying to West Coast from East Coast, if their scores are, you know, phenomenal, and then really, even if he says that I don't have any preference, I would try to get that person in my program. That's my understanding. I may be wrong, but that's what I would do. So I would definitely give preference to the ones who are great applicants. Well, they may not match with me, but you know, it doesn't hurt to put them, rank them higher, because apparently they don't have any preference. I may get that, you know, resident or not. Just because of the geographical preference, I will not rank high somebody who has less qualification than someone who's coming who doesn't have any preference. I don't know if it makes sense, but to me, I mean, that's how I see things.
Okay. Okay. I got
So
this.
that, but I don't want to mislead you. So, I mean, Mamun Bhai, you are with a program. So I don't know how your program thinks. I'm not directly affiliated with any like a internal medicine program yet, or family medicine residency, but you know, if you are associated with some I mean, what would be your program's perspective on this?
No, আমি last year যেটা দেখেছি, হ্যাঁ, okay. So most of them, they have the geographical preference and they have mentioned in our side here.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
like what, like, you know, some of the programs, because, you know, when UCR started their new medical school, you know, the residency program, and they chose all the top cream of the like, you know, candidates, and you won't believe they did not match because they give preference to other, you know, so, and they were like so many slots available. So it was a disaster because, you know, you always want better candidates, but if they do not, you know, give you the top rank, then you will lose the candidate. So I think it's, I think it's,
yeah. Another thing, I think, you know, the smartest thing, what I would do though, whichever state you're applying, just put that as your geographical location. That's it. So there will be no like, instead of saying no preference, just say preference to all the states you're applying. That would cover
Right.
everything, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's better, I think. Yeah, but I'll definitely try to find out the answer. Is there any like coordinator is
Advantage
doing
or
any
not? Yeah.
filtration or anything or not? If anyone want to know that, contact me next week. I'll try to get it. But I think Anindita has the best answer.
Thank you so much, sir.
But one thing
Okay.
is that if you are coming from like one different state, suppose if you're coming from East Coast, and then you are interviewing on West Coast, please make sure during the interview season, during the interview session, it will be asked why you are moving here and would you join the program. Please make sure that you are answering confidently that you will move. You will move wherever you get the residency. So don't show your strong ties to any of the state. So in that case, they will think that, oh, maybe you will not rank them high.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. And then like Sakif said, that everybody would ask, oh, I mean, you are there, I mean, you are moving here, that's a question. And it's more applied to married female, because, their husband's work, if they have kid. I mean, ideally program never asks about children, because, or if you're married or not, because that's illegal. That's not legal to ask. But, they are more worried about the female applicants, especially from the our part of the world, because we are married, our husbands, they work, and then you are moving, it's a huge transition. And then if you have kids, then it's more challenging. It happened in the past that people dropped out of the residency, or they transferred after 1 year to their husband's work location. So for female, you have to have like a solid answer, like why you feel that the moving is, is not a, it's not restricted for you. Like you can move anywhere. So you have to be very confident about that. Your answer has to be very confident, and you have to look confident when you answer that question.
And
Okay.
Anindita, like at this moment, many of you may be thinking that, it doesn't matter. Wherever I'll be getting, I'll be there. It doesn't matter it's in this planet or that planet, right? But from Bangladeshi people I saw, or even I know the example, they thought that, it's more, I think, chance of being selected or matched in different places. They made that preference. They went there, and from 6 months or a year later, they wanted to move from that program. They want to come to other city. So make sure you set up your mind. But as our experience, we'll see. You should dedicate your 3 years of residency, no matter where you are going. Before that, even last year, I was expecting one candidate. He has a tremendous, very good score with all research, publication, everything was there. He didn't match. So you never know. So don't take any chance. If your family need to move, you should move. But if you want the career, do not hesitate to go anywhere.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
And one more thing, just want to make sure I forgot to mention, that all the interviewer, they are taking your interview and they are also working. It's not only just the interview session. They have their own work, and in between they will take your interview. So they will scan your all personal statement, then interview, letter of recommendation, CV, everything. So my 2 cents is personal statement and curriculum CV, do not duplicate it. If you write something in personal statement, you may skip in the CV, or CV could be more details, but personal statement should be very unique and it's kind of snapshot. So if I want to see something in depth of you, I can see in your personal statement.
So
So
we all decided about the geographical locations. Whichever states you're applying, just put that state in your preference,
Right.
In that way, you know, nothing, you'll be safe instead of just putting no preference, just to be on the safe side, right?
Right.
Mamun bhai,
Yeah,
Salma bhai?
I agree with you.
I
Yeah.
think that's the best way.
Yeah, sure.
And then I think in the ERAS application, there is like there is another space. If you cannot say everything about you in a personal statement, there is a section which has, it says impactful experience. Try to make it very solid, unique, and something that tells about you. Impactful means like something, you know, that has a positive impact. Say, for example, you had break in study or you had a death in the family, and how that impacted your personal life and how you overcame. Something that shows your, you know, personality, something that shows your focus, something that tells a little bit more, because that's something they will like kind of like read very, very carefully, like what is unique, what has happened. Do not just talk about positive things. I was just talking to somebody about like you know, a couple of years ago, that they had break-off studies and it took them a while. So I said, but they did not give up. So I said, just, you know, focus that in your impactful experience. Mention that, yes, I definitely had break-off studies. This was the reason. But, you know, at the end of the day, I always wanted to be a physician. So I never gave up. And I had more hurdles, you know, after I graduated, but I did not lose hope. I did not lose my focus, and I was able to overcome all my hurdles. And now I'm doing this, and I am applying for the residency, and I'm focused that I will do this, and I want to do this, and I'm hoping that it would give me a chance. So he did not say that, or she did not say that in that section but then the way she worded or he worded that impactful experience, that made a positive, that actually popped up like as to show like your personality, that you are very focused. You are very focused, and then you really wanted to be a doctor, so you never give up. So that's something tells about you, like your persistence, your strength. So try to use that when you're not able to tell about yourself in the personal statement. So with your experience, with your negative experience, if you have any, how did you make it? How did it turn towards how did it positively, you know, impacted your life or your background or your professional life? So something like that. So you can do that in that section.
Okay. Sakib, I think, you know, we should conclude.
Yeah,
right?
close it.
It's
Yeah.
40 already.
Yeah, it's 10:38. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Salma. Thank you for this excellent presentation
No,
and
thank
sharing
you,
your expertise and insight.
Sakif, and keep it up.
Salma, I just want to share one thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
from the practical experience, what happened in my program is that usually before, on the day of interview, the interviewer usually goes through the personal statement. So usually, suppose if someone has to take 3 interview on that day, he usually read the personal statement on the day or on the one day prior to that. So I think that's one of the effective way if someone wants to stand out from the other interview applicant. This is one of the important way that they can stand out. And then I see that sometimes our assistant program director comes, and then also maybe other colleague come, they share, okay, I have a very interesting personal statement. And then they share a statement sometimes with us. So this is not something that people have a wrong idea that no one reads the personal statement, but that's not true. Usually the interviewer read the personal statement. And this is one of the important way that you can stand out. And thank you, Salma, for like giving all this, your expertise, and then giving all the details how to write a personal statement.
No, my pleasure. It's always happy to help our young physicians.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, Sakib, and everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.